How was your day today?
Very good. Little nervous, you guys coming and doing this video shoot, but yeah, okay.
So tell us, what's your favorite holiday destination?
I think I would like to go every time to a new place, to a holiday place, because that's the fun part, going to new places and seeing things. But I think being in Bangalore, Coorg has become, being so close by, we do keep hopping more and more there, and we are doing some projects there. So yes, we keep going to Coorg.
So do you like pandi curry? Pandi curry?
What is pandi curry?
The Coorgi pandi curry.
Oh, sorry, I'm a vegetarian, so yes, so I don't know.
So what is pandi curry answers that. What's the one thing that you love to do in your free time?
I'm a workaholic. I think I work quite long hours, and then I do work at home also. But one thing, I think after a long day of work, I just sit and do nothing, and maybe once in a while have a drink, and sometimes with a little more drink, I dance.
What's the one word you like to use the most?
How? I think I'm always asking my office people, how does this happen? How do you do this? How do you achieve this? So I think they're sick and tired of me asking that question.
What's the last book you read?
I read recently Gun Island by Amitabh Ghosh.
And what was that book about?
That book is, it's kind of a thing about Sundarbans in Bangladesh, where his experience, and he connected to like in Italy island, and this whole story revolves around how he helps these refugee boys, when they reach Italy. It's quite an interesting thing on connecting this whole idea of today of refugees, and it's also connected to the idea of how birds migrate, how whales migrate. We are okay with it, but we make such a big deal about refugees reaching somewhere, and especially with what's happened in India lately.
What irritates you easily?
Relaxed attitude of people. I just can't take it.
What's your thinking spot here? Or rather, actually take us to your office spot here.
Sure. Yes, please come.
What are the 3 words to describe yourself?
I think doer, detailed, passionate.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I think things should just fall in place. If I say, and I look at dirt in the road and which irritates me, and if I just say, it should just vanish.
I wish that for me as well. Were you the kid who sat in the front row or the one in the last row? I think it's the front row.
Yes, always first row.
Who is Dimple outside her work life?
I think I am the mother, the wife, the daughter, the daughter-in-law. I think all the relationships which I have to do, which I think are very important.
So you're a strong, independent woman.
Yes, I am.
If you weren't an architect, what would you be?
I think I would have been a chef, or maybe something to do with dance.
Dance?
Yes, maybe a dancer or a choreographer.
If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would that be?
We lived in California for, before moving to Bangalore, and I really enjoyed that. But I think looking at it, I am most happy and most here in Bangalore. I think that's the best place to be.
What's the one thing people don't know about you, other than the fact that you're a dancer, now that we know?
Yes, I love dancing, and I have a public speaking phobia.
What's the advice you would give to your 18-year-old self?
Read more.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I think it's been changing how I've grown up. In college, it was listening to Doors, Led Zeppelin, then it went to listening to jazz, and lately I'm listening to John Mayer more.
What kind of food do you like?
I love different kinds of food, and I love cooking different kinds of dishes. So I enjoy all kinds of food, but Now I've become a little more health freak, so I am on salads and fruits a lot.
So, what was the last dish that you cooked?
Um, the other day I made Thai curry, uh, and I'm also very good with making a new dish out of leftovers. That's my specialty.
That's my mom's specialty as well. She makes sure we finish the leftovers.
You know, it goes with recycle. You know how we should recycle things.
What's the one thing you can't leave home without?
Nowadays, mask.
What's the one thing that's always there in your purse or your bag?
My driver's license, cards.
Did you have a mentor growing up?
I think I will not say I had a mentor. I think I had a lot of mentors. In college, a few teachers. My first person I worked with, Mr. Anant Raje. But if I have to mention one person, I would say architect Revati Kamath. I worked in my formative years. I mean, for me, her passion and her energy is what I think I learned a lot from.
How would you describe the Taj Mahal?
Beautiful symbol of love.
Teach me something cool. It could be anything. It could be a dance step.
I could teach you how to moonwalk.
I am crazy how to moonwalk.
I haven't tried it. Otherwise, I can teach you one trick.
Okay, so where do we have to go to learn this trick?
Okay, let's say this is a pencil. Okay, and you see now it'll become out of rubber. Almost become rubbery. See? Now it's moving.
It's also jelly sometimes.
Yes. So,
When did you start your architectural journey?
I think I decided that I want to be an architect when I was in 8th or 9th, which was looking at one of my handsome friend of my father's. He was an architect.
The things we do for men. Any budding architects you admire?
There's a lot of good work happening, in India and all over the world. But if I have to mention somebody, I think I would say talk about this firm in Goa, Studio Matter, Ruturaj. Other than doing meaningful work, what I value is they're organizing these kind of events, conferences, and things where they make a lot of meaningful conversation happen, which I think is very important to do.
What is the material that you like to work with?
I think not one material, like I've already showed you in our space. We love working with natural materials, which means brick, concrete, wood, glass. And that's common to a lot of our projects.
Can you show us the material now?
I mean, you can see we have a brick, we have exposed concrete, and we're using wood, MDF also naturally polished with no paint. And then we have glass, which brings beautiful light.
So, what is the biggest attraction of being an architect?
I think work doesn't feel like work because I love what I'm doing. So I think it's just all fun.
What is the biggest challenge of being an architect?
Working so hard and getting paid so less.
What's your signature style?
I think I don't have a signature style or our firm. We try our best to look at each project in a new way and try to do the best what that project demands. Because style is something I feel is a word which is connected to how the building looks. And that's something I think one should not be making one.
Do you have a goal?
My goal, I think, is to just keep working hard and take mayaPRAXIS, do more meaningful work.
What is your biggest achievement that you've accomplished in your career?
I think making this building is the biggest achievement I've done in my career. It was, at the right time, we built this home come office building for us. And it did help us a lot and take our practice much to a better place.
What are the biggest design mistakes according to you?
I think working hard for a wrong client who doesn't appreciate the design.
What is a quick checklist to keep in mind while designing a house?
First thing is understand the client, their needs, their desires, their aspirations. Then look at the site, look at the climate, the place where it is. Then come up with an idea what your gut feeling says. What that house should be for that kind of a client, and then make it work.
Offbeat architectural marvel in the country.
I mean, there are many, but if I have to mention one, is I would say like Stepwells of Adalaj. For me, one is it's like a great monument, but it was made in that place for a requirement, like a need of getting water in a place, and making that as a celebratory moment in architecture and for culture and for people. So it's how a need was made into a celebration.
What is your architectural dream?
I have two dreams. One is maybe to design like a beautiful modern temple with this beautiful spiritual space. And the other is more like create a monument or something which is, is for the city.
What is your take on the Make in India concept?
I mean, totally believe in it. I think we should all be doing it. India has that rich craftsmanship and tradition, and we have technology which we could marry and make things more beautiful, which is possible only in a country like India.
What is your initiative towards being an eco-friendly architect?
I think that's the way to be today in today's thing, and we just work with all natural materials, though the industry is bombarded with all this artificial materials, but we just don't let those vendors in our office. We tell them sorry. So we work with the most natural materials available around us, local materials, and that's being ecological.
What's your advice to your clients?
Trust your architect and don't blame him for the problems created by the contractor. Your architect is not the contractor.
What is the one thing that you would have done differently?
I thought about that question and I don't think I have an answer for that, because I don't think like that. I just feel whatever decision you take in life, go on, accept it. One doesn't have to, think if I did that, what would have happened. One doesn't have to.
What's the one question you wish we would have asked you?
Maybe how has architecture changed me?
How has architecture changed you?
I think it's made me more, patient, which I was not when I started. It has made me listen to people more, how to understand other people. And also it's developed my sixth sense very strongly.
You seem to have a beautiful garden here. Can you take us around?
Sure. This is our garden, and I think we've tried not to make that pretty garden, but just to create this wild growth where we have like a tree, this wild flowers, and we also have lemongrass, mint growing, which works for my kitchen.
So I'm going to ask you quickly, what's your pick? Pottery or plants?
Plants.
Cement or resin?
Cement.
Designing a national heritage or building a city?
National heritage.
Qutub Minar or Gol Gumbaz?
Qutub Minar.
Recliners or bean bags?
None.
So what do you want? What do you like?
Huh? I think a bench.
Bar stools or ottomans?
Bar stools.
Vertical gardens or terrace gardens?
Terrace garden.
Friends at the beach or family trip in the mountains?
Family trip in the mountains.
Paris or Milan?
Paris for sure, the most romantic city.
High budget client with a lot of interference or low budget client with zero interference?
Both of them, no. Middle ground. Both are not good.
Any last words for your followers?
I think believe in yourself, follow your passion, and just be true to yourself.